Hello everyone and welcome back to Long War 2 Season 1. Now this is what we're going to call our base keeping or housekeeping episode. These will come up periodically and usually it'll have a special thumbnail with a soldier saluting on it. That's how you know. Plus I'll label it a specific way to let you know. So we're going to be doing more of these where we'll have regular episodes which are mission based and then maybe some of these that are a little bit more specialized. So in this episode we're going to do a whole bunch of promotions. We're going to take a look at the AWC, the Advanced Warfare Center, and how that works now with trainable additional perks. We're going to talk about builds a little bit. I'm going to set up the new squads, and I'm going to talk about all of the new soldiers that have been onboarded for Season 1. So there's a lot to this one. So sit back, relax, and let's get into it. All right, here we go. So let's start off with some promotions. We've got plenty of these to do. Let's see. Let's start off with Hendrik here. Now, again, the soldier builds for this season, there's a link below this video in the description that'll take you to the Season 1 details, and I think it's on the second tab of that are the soldier builds. So you're going to hear me talk about certain builds, and I'm going to reference them by name. Like as an example, for Hendrik, there's actually only one build, which I'm calling the Firebug, and you'll see why in a moment. So we've got three choices here on Tier 2. On the first tier, we took Fire in the Hole, which stabilizes the rocket launcher, right? Makes it more reliable if we haven't moved. It lowers that spread that you get, which is a mechanic you may not be familiar with. I spoke about it a little bit before, but in Long War and in Long War 2, rockets have spread. So especially if you move, you could have like a 4-tile sort of guaranteed misdirection, which could be really unfortunate. Not only are you not going to hit what you want, but you might end up hitting your own soldiers. It can be kind of ugly. So things like Fire in the Hole, which reduce the spread, make rockets more reliable. So that's why I took that for Tier 1. Now for Tier 2, I'm taking Napalm X. We'll look at all three. We've got Biggest Booms, your grenades, and standard rockets can inflict critical damage plus 50% chance for an additional 2 damage. You've got Fortify, activate. This Fortify is pretty simple. If think of it like the specialist putting, the little bubble on you. It's the same thing, except it's self-activated. It doesn't cost you an action, which is pretty cool. So it definitely has its uses, but for me, I think that the technicians are all about bringing as much firepower to bear. And in this first campaign with Long War 2, I want to do a lot of experimentation. So I came up with this quote-unquote Firebug build. So we're going to go with Napalm X. Your flamethrower can now disorient or panic enemies. And one of the things I was thinking about yesterday, and I shared it in the comments with a couple of people, was that wouldn't it be cool? I assume that Wraith suits are still a thing. And if they are, how cool is it if you've got somebody that's built to do a whole lot of damage with a flamethrower, and the issue is just sort of getting in position. But if you put someone like this, once they're all built out with like really cool, like crazy flamethrower ability, and they could just sort of and kind of pass through walls and end up behind a group and then lay waste to them. So I'm not so much thinking about how useful is the flamethrower in the early game. I think it's hard to position. I think mobility is an issue. Obviously, Hendrik has a high mobility, and I think I might start just leaving small items, or at least some small items, off of her, just to increase the chances of being able to use the flamethrower. We'll see, but that's my rationale. So we're going to go ahead and grab Napalm X. So there we go. Next, we've got Paul. Promote him up. Okay, now with Paul, we're going with Lightning Reflexes. It's just too good not to get, honestly. It's so good. Like, I'm tempted to just, like, that's the default. The default on this line is Lightning Reflexes. To remind you, Lightning Reflexes makes it very difficult for reaction fire to hit you. It's not like Ghost Step where it doesn't trigger. This does trigger. And I think that's what makes it so awesome, is that you can draw fire with a very low chance that you're going to be hit. I mean, you have to take on an awful lot of reaction shots to actually be hit by it. I think it's just extremely useful. Now, later on, I do have an alternate build where it's using a lot of the arc thrower and kind of a mixed bag. I've got that listed as, I think, build number 3. It's an experimental build, and we'll mess with that hopefully later in the campaign, and we might even just retrain an assault once we get high ranked to kind of see what the value is there. But right now we're grabbing lightning reflexes, just too good to pass up. All right, moving on. We've got Clutch. Clutch is what I am calling the O Club, which is, you know, he's an officer, but also the whole Overwatch build. And I've had some questions about this, so let's talk about this a little bit. So we've got Walk Fire, Close and Personal, and Covering Fire. Okay, so Close and Personal is to increase crit chance on adjacent targets. This would be if we were doing what I call the Crit Beast build, but we're not doing that. Or the Crit build, excuse me. Walk Fire allows you to fire a highly accurate shot, as you can see here. Plus 30 to hit, does half damage, uses 2 ammo. Then you've got Covering Fire. Now this is an Overwatch build. My officers, I always build them so that they're sort of centralized to the group, so that later on when they get officer abilities, they are sort of in the right in the mix, right in the heart of the group. So I understand people saying, yeah, well, why aren't you getting Covering Fire if you're going to end up getting suppression and these other things that really sort of synergize with Covering Fire? Why aren't you doing that? Well, first off, Covering Fire is a very good choice and kind of a logical one if you're doing an Overwatch build. I opt for Walk Fire, and the reason why might seem kind of strange. But I go for Walk Fire for a couple of reasons. The first is that I think it's unbelievably flexible. And when you have 2 shots, and you start thinking about mid-game and then in-game targets, think about flying targets in particular, and how difficult it can be to down them. Sometimes you just need a couple of shots, just a couple of points of damage, and Walk Fire can really help you close that gap. So that's why I go for Walk Fire. The other reason that I go for it over Covering Fire is because I don't want to rely on Covering Fire. I learned from all my experience in the first Long War, as good as it is, I set my team up and I set the sort of the angles and cover and what I'm doing not necessarily optimally when I'm relying on Covering Fire. Like, oh, I don't have to worry about it, they'll take care of it. So for myself, Walk Fire is more flexible, and it makes sure that I sort of stay on point on my positioning and I don't get sloppy because I'm using Covering Fire. So I'm not saying Covering Fire is not great. As a matter of fact, that might be the way to go. I'm just letting you know the rationale besides why I get Walk Fire. So there you go. For what it's worth. I keep saying this, you're smart people, so, you know, you can obviously figure all that stuff out for yourself. You know, that's just the rationale about why I do it. Okay, now, for these other folks here, let me see here. We've got Nico. Right, and we're going to go a little bit different with Nico this time. Well, actually, I was looking at her before, and I was thinking, man, with the 5 health... I was thinking about going Assault with her, but... you know what? Let's not. Go ahead and promote her. What did it make her? A rogue? Yeah, nah, we're gonna change that. Change class. Actually, You know what? I'm okay with that. Let's leave her as a rogue. And we need more sort of sneaky people. Because we haven't really been able to take advantage of sort of just dropping in and completely avoiding things. You know, you take like a rogue, a specialist, and maybe a shinobi or something like that, like a three-person group, and you can pretty much avoid all of the pods, especially on an extremely light mission, get to the objective and then get out. We really haven't been able to do that because we've been sort of constrained by the classes that we have. So let's get some flexibility going. All right, Robert Loki Stafford. Promote. Sharpshooter? Yeah, well, that's not happening. Change class. And you, sir, are going to be a gunner. There we go. Nice. Okay, so that one's squared away. Stafford's also going to be an officer, so I better take a look at the builds that I have to try to figure out which one would be ideal for an officer. But we have three officers so far, 3 squad leaders. We've got Ed, we've got Clutch, and we've got Loki here. And I know some of you have been asking in the comments to be an officer. I'll narrow down the next 2 or 3 that we're going to need, and I'll let you know as that progresses. So let's see. Jaden Jackal Cross. Promote. Assault. Nope. He's also going to be a rogue. I'm just used to Jaden being a rogue. It would be weird if he was anything else. And there we go. He's got really high aim. So I could have gone sharpshooter with him, but I'm comfortable with him being a rogue. And again, we need more sort of stealthy people, so it's good that we've got a couple options here now. Let's take a look. How many specialists do we have? Because I think that's an area where we're sort of hurting. And I need to dismiss this soldier, and maybe they'll come back via the pool. It got bugged out when I was using that other version of Commander's Choice. Okay, so let's see. We've got 2 specialists. Yeah, we could certainly use another one, which is fine because we've got Christy here. Let's go ahead and do that. Promote. Christy's been one of our combat medics for, well, a couple of years now, actually. If you go back and look at all the campaigns. So there we go. So now we've got another specialist. Okay, let's see. Stowe, what do we have you down as? You know what? I had Stowe down originally as... because he prefers, I know, somebody that can kind of lay it out with a gun. He kind of likes shooty kind of classes. And last season, which was Season 4, XCOM 2, aka Long Warish, he was a gunner. But this time I think we're going to have to do something else because... he's got good base health, but the aim is not so great, so... Grenadier, perfect, yeah. Grenadier will work. It'll still make him viable, he'll still be able to blow stuff up, he should be happy with that. That'll work. Okay, now I've got 2 here that you can see that are called to be assigned, so if we sort it that way, they're at the top. These were soldiers that I didn't have any idea who they were. I couldn't find a member of the community that was sponsoring them, like that, you know, had requested them. I think they were just randomly people that got generated because for some reason, and I don't know why this is, and if somebody does, let me know, but, you know, you set character pool only, and you have enough soldiers in there, at least I think I did, and then it still randomly pulls or creates soldiers that I have no idea who they are, and then I still have soldiers, you know, key soldiers, like, sitting in the character pool. I don't know what it is or why that's the case, but we end up with these soldiers that essentially don't belong to anybody. So I've got them here as to be assigned, and what I'll likely do, as an example, I'm waiting for Bear. I'm waiting for Anthony, and he hasn't shown up yet, so after we get resupplied again, if he doesn't show up as recruitable, I'm going to turn one of these soldiers into Bear so that he's here. And I've got a couple of others that are in the same kind of boat that they should already be here and they're not. So I'll probably use the other slot for that. But going forward, as we get soldiers like from rewards and whatnot, which hopefully that happens at some point in Long War 2, this is what will happen. I'll rename them to be assigned, and then I'll go and I'll look at the soldier subscriber list. I'll look at who was next in terms of when they applied. I'll look at what class they asked for. I'll look at the stats of these various people that we have that are quote-unquote to be assigned, and then I'll give that character to someone else. So down the road, if we've got higher ranked characters and you still haven't made it onto the roster, that doesn't mean that you won't. You might end up being one of these to be assigned people. So hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so Eve, we're gonna go with Assault for you. Yeah, no, not Rogue. Change class. Assault. There we go. Now she's looking correct. Alright, do we have any other promotions? No, doesn't look like it. So let's go to squad management. We need to work on this a little bit. Alright, first step. Let's change this name. This is Mal's Angels. So essentially Ed, because this is his squad. Ed basically becomes Bosley. And we decided that it was fine that Mal's Angels doesn't necessarily consist of all ladies because we don't have enough female soldiers. So we're just generically saying angels. I actually said archangels, and the team decided nope, angels. And I was like, all right, so be it. So let's take a look We currently have a ranger, a sharpshooter, assault, and shinobi. I got this question too about what are we going to do in terms of, yeah, that's their squad logo, by the way. What are we going to do in terms of the makeup of these squads, and is there going to be sort of specialization? And the answer to that is yes and no. And what I mean by that is that there is going to be a squad, I already know now, that is absolutely going to be specialized, and that's going to be Stafford's squad, and we'll get to that in a moment. But they're going to have sort of a special group of people, and he's going to take a lot of rookies, so people will pass sort of in and out of his squad as well. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that. So let's see. Let's take a look at Ed's here. We've got a ranger, a sharpshooter, assault, and shinobi. The idea behind Mal's Angels is that, you know, they're sort of first strike and that they can handle any kind of mission. So we need to make sure that we're assigning soldiers with flexibility in mind. We don't want too much of one class. So let's take a look here. Oh, everyone else is assigned. Okay, so let's remove. We don't have any missions currently pending, so that helps out. Yeah, we're just going to remove everyone, and we'll build this from scratch. Okay, so we know we want Ed. We're going to leave Dot in there. We'll leave Wolfric in there. We'll leave Fu in there, so this is fine. Now, the reason it's important, by the way, if you're thinking, well, what does it matter? Isn't this just sort of like a flavor thing or a role-playing thing? Well, yeah, to some degree, yes, but there's also some real sort of game mechanics behind this too. Once Ed becomes actually an officer in-game, the more these soldiers go on missions with their respective officers, there's bonuses involved. So once we've made these assignments, I'm not saying that we can't switch them in and out, but ideally we will be able to keep those squads together. And I'm going to do these initial assignments, and I know that there's certain people that want to be in certain squads. They've requested that, so I will follow up with the respective squad officers and get this all sorted out. This will just sort of be the initial blueprint, okay? So there might be a few changes down the road. I'm just being upfront about that. All right, so let's see. No, guys. Go back. Stop the music. All right, let's see. So we've got sharpshooter, assault, shinobi. So we've got a scout. Let's see. How many rogues do we have now? Do we have 2 or 3 rogues? We've got 2 rogues. Alright, well, we'll hold off then on giving them another sneaky person. Alright, how about Christy? So now they've got a specialist. We need some kind of a heavy hitter. Like a grenadier, maybe? Alright, you guys can have Taylem. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. Alright, I think that's good for now. We'll probably make some additions here. Alright, the next squad. And I think the squad symbol is this one? But I might have to revise this. Let's see. And this is going to be the Xenobusters. This is Clutch's group. So assign soldiers. We need Clutch. Okay. He's the squad leader. And then I'm trying to think, there was a couple of people that had requested his squad. Oh, Coops had requested his squad, so we'll add Coop. And I'm not sure who else, so let's give him a specialist. He can have Anne. He's going to need a scout of some kind. Let's give him Jack. Need some firepower. Give him assault. That could be Eve. Okay, so we've got an assault, a gunner, a shinobi, a specialist, and a ranger. Obviously, clutch. Let's go ahead and grab a grenadier. He can have stow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, let's leave it at that for now. And then... Hold on. Assign. Stow. Okay, and let's view this squad, because we've got to make some changes here. Some changes? Yeah, that's right. That's right, everybody in this squad has got to roll the sectoid buster flag on the back. That's right, that's how you know. There we go, sectoid busters. I know that there's a mod too that someone's working on that makes the current squads available as flags. I believe that's what it is, but I hope they add more. Because what I'd really like to do is match them up identically. Like, I'd like to have a... You know, I'd like to have a flag, like, for all of the squads that match their squad logo. Because I think that's super cool. And I hope you do too. Alright, there we go. The Xenobuster Squad. That's awesome. Oh, so good. Okay, and then the third squad, which is Ragnarok. Yep, Ragnarok. And this is... Add soldiers. Sign soldiers. There we go. We need Stafford. It's his squad. Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, we need a couple of more here. What do we need? Yep, you need a specialist. You need somebody to scout for you. Let's give you Nico. Yep. Not heavy on the scouting, though. Actually, you know what? Yeah, Shinobi's fine. We don't need a rogue in this group because I had talked about having, like, specific roles. So this is the first group, or the first squad to actually have a specific role. They're sort of just, let's go blow stuff up. Yeah, they're not going to be subtle. That looks pretty good for them. So they don't need a whole lot of quiet. They're going to kind of go in heavy, and then when we need rookies to go out with somebody, this is sort of the intended group for that. Alright, let's see. Let's give you... let's give you Hendrik. Let's give you another gunner. Yeah, Ranger. Yeah, Ranger. Alright, and we've got a handful of other soldiers. Okay, you need another member. Let's give you Alex. Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, so we've got Mal's Angels. And here's what that group consists of. We've got Xenobuster. Actually, let me rename that. It's Xenobusters. There we go. And then we've got Ragnarok. Yeah, that works. An assault, a ranger, specialist, a gunner, shinobi, and technical. Yeah, that's pretty heavy. Not a whole lot of subtle there in that group. Alright, and we have how many more soldiers available? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We could put together another group with that. A little bit weird on the classes, so I think what I'll do is I'll just sub people in until we have a few more classes available. We'll see, I might make a few more changes, but for now, this is the squad setup. Yep, I think that looks pretty good. Alright, let's go back out to the Geoscape. And we'll do a little bit of this sort of operational stuff. Now, we've got... supposedly here in this haven, we have a faceless hanging out over here. So let's go ahead and assign someone to take care of that for us. You know what? Let's have JP do that. Okay, so Jetpack, Paul Davis is going to be our advisor here. And in the other haven, we currently have a scientist. I don't know why we flew over there. Misclick, I guess. Let's check that out real quick here, since this is sort of our base keeping. Okay. Yeah, all on intel with an advisor. And, you know, I've talked about this a little bit, but let me talk about it again since I've got a little bit better understanding now. One of the reasons we have more time on some of these more recent missions and we're able to infiltrate better is because we have assigned so many people to intel. So you meet an intel threshold, you uncover a mission. The earlier you uncover the mission, obviously you have more time to do the infiltration. Now, having said that, I don't know if this is a good balance or not. Part of me says I already have too many people on intel and not enough people, as an example, on supply. I think that this is going to be a problem because we're pretty much broke, can't build anything, and it's very challenging for us to do even the basic things in terms of what requires supplies. We've got 79. That's not exactly, we're not exactly rolling in it. But, you know, again, this first campaign is all about experimentation and learning stuff, so that's what we're doing. All right, let's go ahead. You know what? Let's go to the black market, actually. Just check that out and see if there's anything good there.
Market is open.
Okay, buy. We could get hero for 35 supplies. Okay, done. Okay, 2 hair triggers, an auto loader, depth perception. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna grab anything else. That was a pretty big big investment there, grabbing him. Go back over here, squad management, 9 soldiers. You have... let's take a look here. You don't have a grenadier. You do.
I have to
you
hand
don't.
It to 'em. What these recruits lack
You
in
do.
experience, they make up for in grit.
Alright, let's grab hero. And let's go ahead and do his promotion as well. Okay, and then we've got Sapper. Your explosives can destroy many cover objects. Needle grenades. Your explosives do not destroy loot when they kill enemies. That's pretty cool. And rapid deployment. Activate this ability before throwing or launching a support grenade, and throw will not cost an action. Yeah, that's what we're going with. Okay, now, in terms of all the people that we've been adding, I'm not going to... it would just take too much time to go through the character pool. Plus, it doesn't really have any bearing until they actually get drafted in. So what I will do is I will continue to create those soldiers, which I have been as quickly as I can, and I will update the Season 1 details sheet. There's a side that shows sort of the core characters, what the campaign started with, and then there's another column for who was added in Season 1, and I will update that list. So if you're curious as to whether or not you've made it into the character pool, I will continue to update that list, and you can check there to see if you've made it into Season 1. So hopefully that makes sense. All right, let's go back out to the Geoscape.
Setting course for West Africa.
Okay, what do we got? Operation Dread Spark. Neutralize target, get Advent's attention. Very light. Okay.
Setting course for Sector 13, South Africa.
Let's set up a team for this. Five days, 1 hour till it expires. 4 days till infiltrate, huh? Okay. Let's send Ragnarok for that. So, let's see. We won't quite have full infiltration, and I think I'm okay with that. Yeah, I think so. Everyone's promoted, right? Ranger Specialist, Gunner, Shinobi, Technical Assault. Yeah. Start that infiltration. You folks go smash. More alien faces.
Sky Ranger deployed. Squad green to deploy.
Alright, start that infiltration. Oh, I love it. They've got the squad logo. Ah, that's awesome.
Setting course
So good.
for Sector 11, West Africa.
Operation Wailing Days. Hack hidden resistance computer. Find a lead. Alright, confirm. How much time do we have? Mission expires in 4 days. Alright, well, we don't need 2 grenadiers on this one. Take hero. Yeah, we won't have full infiltration on this either. And it's very light. What if we did it with... What if we did it with 4? Okay, that'd be pretty close. Where's... Is he still wounded? He's still wounded. I don't want to send this squad. Alright, we'll switch this. We'll grab Mal's Angels. Select this squad. Alright, so we've got Ed. We've got Wolfric. Got Christie. Okay. So we need a couple more. Who's available? Okay, can take Wee. And we've got Miss Walker available. Mission expires in 10 days, 19 hours. Okay. Oh, Lieutenant Corporal Tony Berrigan is rogue intel package. Yeah! We go get Bear. All right. All right. That's exciting. Alright, well, we're gonna go in and get Bear. We're not messing around. Alright, let's grab, who else do we have? We have, like, some... We don't have anybody else that we could send? They're either wounded or on another mission. Really? No kidding. Okay, well... I mean, this should be good enough. I hope it is. Maybe what we'll do is we'll over-infiltrate, too, because my understanding is that these rescue VIPs from an Advent cell, they actually set traps for you. So, yeah. Alright, well, let's take a look here. What do we want to change up? Anything? This looks pretty good to me. Maybe grab one more medkit. Yeah, let's grab one more medkit, just in case. Alright, weapon upgrade. Ooh. Elite laser sight. Uh-huh. Yeah, let's grab that. And a suppressor. Yep. Expanded mag. What do we got available over here? Laser sight. Plus 10 on reaction fire shots. No, because they don't have close combat specialists or anything yet. Grab a suppressor? Sure, why not? Expanded mag. There we go. Grunt. Okay, so that looks pretty solid to me. Let's grab a smoke also. Alright, guys. Let's go get Bear and smash more alien faces.
We're in the pipe. 5x5.
Alright, you start that up. Now, hopefully by not sending... When do we gotta do this? Mission expires... 3 days, huh? I guess we're gonna have to go without their squad leader. Ooh, that's gonna be tough with 4. Yeah, I don't know about this. Well, I guess the other option is we just go heavy and hope for the best. Alright, let's see. You've got 2 grenades. Why is that showing that you have like 4 grenades? And you do too. What's... Oh, okay. Grenadier. Right. Forgot he's a grenadier. Laser sight, suppressor. Oh, it doesn't fit? Oh. All right. We'll worry about fancier weapon names later. Alright, let's send them in. Go smash more alien faces.
Skyranger deployed. In position for deployment.
Okay, now, let's watch real carefully these infiltration numbers. What? Rescue, resistance, contacts... Recapture rebels. Okay. I'm pretty sure we've got no one. Yeah, we do have no one. Expires in 5 days. So if we can do one of these other ones quickly and then get back, we might be able to make it happen.
Setting course for South Africa.
Jailbreak. I just want to see what's the mission expires? 6 days? 6 days, 7 hours. Okay. This is tense, man. Tense. Okay, and how long for you? 3 days. Okay, some of these we're just gonna have to drop. We don't have a choice.
These findings will likely prove
basic
crucial
research
to
is
our
done.
ongoing efforts, Commander, with the Advent officer currently in cold
Okay,
storage,
Resistance
we should
Radio is gonna be
perform the
next,
autopsy as soon
which
as
was
possible. I'll
a
see
pretty
that
penny
work
in terms of
begins
intel.
immediately, Commander. I'll contact you when I have a full report available.
Okay, Operation Dread Spark. 87% infiltrated. They're guarded. That's what we're going to come back to, folks. So I hope that you enjoyed this basekeeping episode, and you look forward to Operation Dread Spark. Thanks so much for watching. Till next time, I'm Mal, and I will see you later.